Hi folks, we're getting underway in just about 2 minutes time with the women's downhill. 32 on the start list today, including Stephanie Grobe, the defending champion. She starts 12th. Didn't have the best of second trainings yesterday, down in 13th place. I'm pretty sure she'll be on top form today. Andorra represented with Caminal Santure starting at bib 15. Well, in St Anton it was Stephanie Grobe for Switzerland who took it. Vicky Bernard for Italy in second, and it was Pernille Dreistad Lidersen from Norway that was in third place a year ago in St Anton am Arlberg at the 2023 Junior World Championships. Before that, it was Magdalena Egger for Austria that won it in 2022 and 2020. There was no downhills held for the women or the men in Bansko in 2021. Some great names have won this title over the years. Maria Hoffelrich, Julia Mancuso, Tina Weirreiter, Ilke Stueck, and many names going on, including those names to such great success. Kasia Vikov-Lee winning in 2018, Alice Merriweather 2017, Valerie Grenier 2016, Mina Fürst-Holtmann. Before that, Corinne Suter. So much talent. Switzerland over the last 20 editions of the women's downhill at the Junior World Championships have won 5 times, and June Brand, who got to get us underway in big trouble early on. Well, June Brand down and out. She was the first skier on the course, 12th in yesterday's second training. That's Europa Cup of 21st place, and well, June Brand down and out. That is a big shame for the French skier. Let's hope all okay with her. So of course the race interrupted at the moment as June Brand hopefully is able to get back on her feet. The first skier of 32 on the start list, 35 on the start list, I do beg your pardon. Skier to watch out for, maybe bib 23, Rosa Pojalainen. She from Finland. She's made the flip on the World Cup Tour a few times in her career in slalom. Best of 14th in World Cup slalom. I saw Roja ski at the Youth Olympics in Lausanne in 2020, and she's gone on to have a good career. 1 or 2 little injury niggles over the last couple of seasons, but Pojalainen could be one that could spring a surprise today in this race. Well, on a hold, and I haven't got any information yet or seen anything about June Brand yet. Start intervals 1 minute 15, so the next skier in the start gate, Leonie Zeg from Austria, hasn't started yet. She is still in the start gate, but not an ideal start to this competition. Let's hope June Brand is able to get back on her feet and make her way down the mountain under her own steam. Well, a year ago, Lara Kulturi from Albania was fourth in this race, and of course we've seen Kulturi go on over the past couple of seasons. Last season in GS, starting to really show her form. This season, GS and slalom. She's not on the start list for this one today, but we will see her later in these championships. Just the one athlete from Albania at the moment. Not at the moment, one athlete on the start list. Di Camilo will be the last skier to go. Just getting a little bit of word that at the moment Camera 1 is down. That is why we didn't see June Brand out of the start. So the on-site team working on things here. So hopefully they're able to get that fixed, and we can see the athletes out of the start gate. We did pick up June Brand just as she was in the midst of that fall. So the team at the start working on getting that camera 1 fixed. We apologise for that, folks. Hopefully they can get it working. So you can maybe pick up on the radio, the start is clear, the race no longer interrupted. I think they are going to just keep moving with the race, and we'll pick the skier up when we can. I know it's not ideal, folks, but these things do happen. But certainly, I'm sure you'd all agree, we don't want to delay the race. It's just gone midday local time here in Chatel, and whilst we'd all love to see the skiers coming out the start gate, we're expecting it to warm up. It's above freezing now, and conditions on the course, it's only going to get a little bit softer into the afternoon, and I think we'd all agree that we'd rather ensure the athletes have good quality snow conditions. They've done a fantastic job at preparing the piste, and athlete safety and well-being is of course the priority. But Leonie Zeg hasn't started yet. She's still waiting to go. So haven't missed anything at the moment. I believe the start is clear, and they were able to get underway fairly soon. They may just be close to fixing the camera, and we'll get that link back to the start. If it's only going to be a minute or two, then I imagine they would wait. But if they think it's going to be a longer fix, then in that situation it would be best to get the race underway and ensure the athletes have as good a track as possible for this women's downhill. Well, at these World Championships, we've got 600 skiers representing 54 national ski federations across all of the events. We've already had the first gold medal, and it's gone to Livio Hildebrand. He won the Super G last year, now the downhill champion. I can tell you, Leonie Zeg is underway. The race is back moving again, and here we're now able to pick up Leonie Zeg after she's through the first split, and we can see it in this top section. Same course, a slightly lower start for the women. It's the jump, and Zeg from Austria handles it nicely. So they do get the race underway. She's 19 years old. It was her first Junior World Championship, 6th in a Europa Cup last week. A very nice Europa Cup for the Austrian. Now this the sun just moving down the hill, and Leonie Zeg in with a 1:09.61. That is the first time that we have, as June Brand unfortunately crashed out. Just a little error there, a little bit sideways, not as clean as you really need to be through that section. Hips back over the jump, a little bit backseat, and so Leonie Zeg was left a little bit out there for others to challenge. Matilda Lorenzi now for Italy. So the Italian 400ths of a second off of the pace at the moment, and 19-year-old 22nd and 24th in the training runs yesterday. He's been on the Europa Cup tour. Was 19th back in December in a downhill in the Passo San Pellegrino. Now 0.58 up, and there was those mistakes in there from Leonie Zeg. the bottom section or the midsection of the course. So Lorenzi putting together a really nice run here, and Lorenzi takes it by 0.39. Fantastic run from Lorenzi from Italy. She leads the way. Italy with 2 medals already from the men's event, a silver and a bronze. Getting in all sorts of bother over the jump. Alison Mollin, second yesterday in the last of the trainings, 5th in the first training run. Nice 23rd place in Super G, part of the Speed Series in Orsières last week. 0.15 down on the top split. She's out of Palisades at Lake Tahoe, beautiful part of the world, 19 years old. And gets the line totally wrong. She's won on the NORAM circuit in December in Copper Mountain. That tells you the quality that she has as a ski racer in her first Junior World Championships, and she's putting on a good display here. Is she going to run it close? 0.15. It's going to go right down to the line for Alison Mollin. USA looking to get on the podium here. How close does she take it? It's second, 0.12 off of the pace. So Lorenzi sees off the first challenger. Alison Mollin into second place. Standing strongly on that right foot through this section. But here we see the jump. And again, having to work back across the hill. Laura Huber now for Switzerland. 8th in the training run yesterday. 15th in the first training. 18 years old out of Brienz. Just at the edge of Brienzer See, the lake that ends at Interlaken. You've got Thunersee on the other side. 0.05 of a second. This is good from Laura Huber. Running it very, very close here now. Attacking this section, gliding well. Huber from Switzerland. Oh, she's neck and neck with the Italian through that split. The speed is looking good from Huber. Switzerland looking to get 2 gold medals. It's got to be a clean bottom section. Very low position, ideal for finding the speed. And Laura Huber is over the line. She takes it by 1/4 of a second. Switzerland leading the way. Superb run from Huber. Now, is that going to be enough for a medal? Very relaxed, very loose through that turn, letting the skis run. Gets the line absolutely spot on over the jump. Victoria Bergler, the 19-year-old Austrian. 30 Europa Cup starts, a best of 10th in Super G. 7th at the downhill a year ago at the World Juniors, and again another racer close at the top split. This top group of skiers are all going to be fairly tightly matched here. Bergler, bib number 6, again gets the line well on the jump. Now into the gliding section of the course where some speed could be made up if you've got that touch. 0.37 though, work to do. And Bergler a little down on the speed gun as well. This next section absolutely key, just a little low there. And diving across the line into 5th place, 8.80 down, losing a bit more time on the bottom section. Laura Huber sees off the first of the challengers. That right ski just breaking away a little bit into that section. Well, we do have the pictures back in the start. Sarah Thaler next to go. The Italian underway now. 0.21, this is good. On the top section for Thaler, 16th and 11th in the training runs. She's had 3 Europa Cup podiums, all in downhill this season. 12th last year at the World Junior Championships, but she's progressed since then. 2 podiums last week in Orsières, and which she has the green light on. A huge flight from Thaler. Got to glide well through here. 0.17. Some time has slipped away for the Italian. She's down on the speed gun as well. Sarah Thaler is going to take this one very, very close. The Italian, all-out attack, full charge to try and bring Italy a gold medal in the women's downhill. And Thaler crosses the line by 900ths of a second. She takes it. Italy lead. Switzerland in second and Italy in third with Lorenzi. That was full gas, all-out attack from Sarah Thaler. That's the sort of skiing that's brought her success on the Europa Cup Tour this season. Valérie Blanc now for Switzerland. Fourth in the second training run yesterday. She was second in the first of the training runs. 20 years old from Anzer. She's got one Europa Cup podium. It came last week, a third place in Orsières. That was in Super G though, but she's got the green light on at the moment. Great technical skiing from Blanc here. Oh, and she's built on the advantage, 0.25. Very clean turn through the sunshine. It's getting a little bit softer in there. Back into the shade. Valérie Blanc from Switzerland charging here, throwing everything she's got at this run. It's going to be tight. Has Blanc done enough? 0.48. She absolutely smashes the bottom section. Quickest through the gun as well, and Switzerland in the lead of the women's downhill. Beautiful skiing from Blanc. Well, she is, of course, going to be one to watch in the Super G tomorrow as well. Carlotta De Leonardis from Italy. '19th and 20th in the two training runs. 23rd in Europa Cup last week, 22nd in Super G. Very strong GS and Super G skier. Still learning the craft of downhill racing, but Super G probably her best. 0.14 though, and now over a second off the pace. Blanc's lead is going to be safe for another skier here. Leonardis was just over a second down at the first split and doesn't lose a lot more time at the bottom. 1.05 off of the pace. She goes into sixth place. Garance Meyer from France. She won the first of the training runs. 9th yesterday out of La Clusaz on the Europa Cup podium last week in downhill. She was 9th at these World Championships last season. 0.25. She's got a little bit of work to do. Good flight. Big flight from Meyer. Quarter of a second, the deficit at the first split. Approaching the second split, 0.73. Oh, it might have gone for Meyer from France. 0.57 separating first, second and third. Standing a little tall through this section. And in this discipline, that can be costly. And into 7th place, 1.08 down. Not repeating the skiing of the first training run. Although you can't read too much into the training runs. All the athletes having slightly different approaches. Nicole Eibel now for Austria. 19th and 13th in the training runs. 14th in downhill last week. 14th and 18th in Orsières in the downhill on the Europa Cup Tour. 0.42 on the top section. Europa Cup best of 12th coming in at Super G for the 20-year-old who makes a big mistake. Big recovery there from Eibel. That'll be more time lost for the Austrian. 1.42 down now. And her chance of a medal is gone. Super G tomorrow for the women. That will be the focus of her attention now. The Austrian crosses a line into 10th place, 2.2 down, but a big, big error. Loaded up that outside ski, and we see her come into the jump. A little off balance set there, and nearly loses that right foot. For many, the favourite, Stephanie Grob from Switzerland. The defending champion. 0.17. She's had 9 World Cup starts. She's been on the GS Tour mostly this season. Hasn't qualified yet on the World Cup Tour. Her only start in downhill was at World Cup finals last season after winning the World Junior title. That's a good line. She's really letting it run through this section. But the next split, 0.73. She's 111.7 kilometers an hour. That is the quickest of anyone by 2.41 kilometers an hour. And Grob getting a lot of support here, but she's got some time to make up. The speed was good. And the defending champion, though she might be outside, she is 8th place. Mallory Blanc still in the lead. But Stephanie Grob for Switzerland, who came in looking to defend the title, will not take a medal here. Paola Reccioni from Italy next to go, from France I should say. 24th in the second training. Was in the Europa Cup points in downhill 2 days ago, 6 days ago, 27th. Giant slalom, her best discipline. She's got a world ranking in 96th in GS. Controls the flight well. 0.34 at the top splits and 0.79. She's just about in touch for a medal at the moment. Reccioni now through the final turn. The time of Blanc disappears past her and she's into 11th. 1.44 down. Isabella Pedrazzi next to go for Switzerland. Switzerland going to walk away with both golds in the women's and men's downhill today. Pedrazzi 18th in the second training run, 0.26. Top 10 in the Super G on Europa Cup Tour last week. She was 9th. Super G and downhill, her favourite disciplines. The next split coming up now for Pedrazzi. And 0.9 of a second. So Pedrazzi outside of the medals right now and having to just keep fighting through this bottom section. Pedrazzi, bib 14 into 12th place. She will now turn her attention to the Super G. Looks a little disappointed there. Caminel Santuri from Andorra next up. Starting at bib 15. Quarter of a second down. That right ski just breaking away a little bit there. Well, the second split, absolutely key for all of these skiers. She was 4th in the first of the training runs. And now 0.82. We've seen a lot of skiers in touch. at the second split, but it's the bottom section of the course that one or two skiers have had some problems. Finish line very much in sight, and she's lost a little bit more time into 11th place, 1.42 down for the Andorran skier. Ronja Wiesler now for Germany. 28th and 25th in the training runs. Coming off the back of some decent GS scores. Had a 28-point result in GS on the 20th of January in Oberwiesenthal. 0.37 down at the first of the splits. And GS are definitely her strongest discipline. Ranked inside the top 200 in the world, which for a 20-year-old skier is pretty good going. Well, 1.57 off the pace at the moment. I think Wiesler is going to be really focusing on the giant slalom at these World Championships, Junior World Championships, I should say. And Wiesler stops the clock in 15th place. Again, you see that plume of snow breaking away. The end of the turn and getting twisted on the jump. Nora Kukingsberg out of Switzerland next to go. 19-year-old from Flumserberg. Best Europa Cup result of 15th place. That was last week in Super G. 11th in the second of the training runs. Super G and downhill, her favoured disciplines. And Kukingsberg, 0.23. The line's okay over the jump. 0.23 at the first split, pretty helpful. The speed is good, 109 kilometres an hour. But over a second back now, it would be good enough for 6th place if she could not lose any more time through the final 4 or 5 seconds of this course. And Kukingsberg from Switzerland into 7th place. Well, we see her through this section and setting up for the jump up. That's the final bit here. Final couple of turns. Not seeing the replay on the jump. Katinka Lunder now for Norway. Seeing the athletes power out of the gate. 15th in the second training, quarter of a second down. Did race at the 2020 Youth Olympic Games in Lausanne, Switzerland. It's nice to see the progression for these athletes from the Youth Olympics and now at the World Junior Championships. Not her first World Juniors. She was 16th in 2022 and standing up tall, and that is her race done. So a DNF for Katinka Lunder from Norway. So disappointing for the Norwegian. After some okay training runs. But safely in the finish area. See it again here. Just gets the line. A little bit wrong. Big flight and not recovering. Now, Mary Bocock from the USA. Exceptional giant slalom skier. Started in Jasna on the 20th of January. Didn't finish there. She's been racking up the good point scores on the NORAM Tour, a NORAM podium on the 3rd of January in giant slalom. 26th in yesterday's second training run, and she's in trouble. Well, what a recovery. All-out attack from the American out of the Romark Ski Academy. ranked 62nd in the world in giant slalom. She will be one of the GS favourites here at these Junior World Championships. Still getting to grips with the speed of downhill. But you can see she's a great technician. And Bocock into 15th, but she was living a little dangerously on the jump. Watch out for her in the GS, and maybe the Super G as well. Getting bounced around that right ski, breaking away slightly. And here the weight's all wrong, but lands and recovers. McKenna now for Ireland. 40th and 41st in the 2 training runs. A huge amount of downhill experience. She's just back from the Youth Olympic Winter Games in Gangwon at the Yonsan Haiwon Resorts. Finished 43rd, 38th in the Super G, 26th in the GS, her best result at those Youth Olympic Games. A lot of travel from Korea to get back in time for the training runs. 4.56 down at the second split for the Irish skier. Has the finish line within her sights, bib 20. It's looking like the gold medal may be going to Switzerland again. Mallory Blanc. McKenna into 18th place. Handles the jump well. Katarina Sobrova from Slovakia next up. 21st and 40th in the 2 training runs. Wasn't on the Europa Cup Tour at the Speed Series in Orsier. Did some FIS races a couple of weeks ago in Teen. 5th place. Good result for her. She's been skiing well in giant slalom and slalom as well. Running it a little late there into this gliding section. Does like the speed of the downhill, but a good all-rounder. It's the great approach for athletes at this sort of age as well. Just push back a little bit. The upper body there, and Svobova from Slovakia into 18th place. Certainly getting a little softer in that turn. Some nice transitions there. You can see she's got the technical skills. Gets the line wrong. And Catherine Theberg from Canada next up. 19 years old, out of Lac-Beauport in Quebec. Good NORAM results in speed. 3rd in Super G and Copper. 9th in a NORAM downhill in Whistler last season. 10th and 17th in the 2 training runs, and 0.12 is a very decent top section for the Canadian. Oh, and she's in big trouble down. Big trouble there after running so well at the top split. The Canadian going down. Let's hope, of course, she's okay. This is how it looks right now. Mallory Blanc by nearly half a second. Sarah Thaler in second. Right now, Laura Huber in 3rd. Well, it's Switzerland's day so far on the first medal day at these Junior World Championships. Well, we've had a couple of fallers. June Brand was the first one to go down. Lunder from Norway didn't fall, but missed again. Theberg from Canada falling as well. Hopefully back on her feet quickly and able to make her way down into the finish area. Well, when she sees that top split, she's going to be so disappointed. But watch out for the Canadian in the Super G tomorrow. Let's hope she is good to race in that one. So just a little interruption whilst make sure everything is okay. Next up in the start gate is Rosa Pohjalainen from Finland, bib 23 out of 35. Just trying to listen in to the radio. Hopefully course is all clear. And Pohjalainen can get underway. I don't think we need to repair any B netting. It's just making sure the Canadian who took that fall is in a safe position and out of the track. Of course, we have a hill freeze in place for downhill. No movement on the course. A couple of yellow flag zones as well. But the start intervals a minute 15 is just allowing these athletes to complete the course without having to worry too much about getting yellow flagged. I think we just caught a glimpse of the Canadian making her way down the course there. It looked like a Canadian suit passing by, so that is a good sign. Now there's a Swiss skier on the podium, taking the win, Mallory Blanc, along with Sarah Thaler there. The Valais flag, the red and white flag with the stars there for the Valais canton in Switzerland. I think Anzer is in the Valais canton, isn't it? I'll have to double check that one. I know that famous resorts of Zermatt and Saas-Fee. Well, good to see, they're in the Valais canton. Good to see Mallory, I apologise, the Canadian Theberg on her feet and making her way down the mountain here under her own steam on the Linga piste. Start altitude for the women, 1,875 metres. Vertical drop of 695 metres. 2,300 metres in length, 175 metres shorter than the men's course. Well, Theberg safely in the finish area. The Canadian, after falling, and now Rosa Pohjalainen, I can tell you, is underway now. So the race back underway. Now, Pohjalainen's had 16 World Cup starts, mostly in slalom, a best of 14th in slalom coming in 2002. Our only previous downhill start at the World Junior Championships was in 2020. She was 11th there. Hasn't actually raced downhill since then. Rosa Pohjalainen from Finland underway. Very aggressive skier. Saw her at the Youth Olympic Games 4 years ago. And it's been good to see her progression on the World Cup Tour in slalom. She will be one of the favourites for the slalom gold. But she is skiing so nicely in downhill as well. 500s up at the top split. Gliding well, such a great technician, 0.20. Good speed as well from Pohjalainen at 110 kilometers an hour. A medal not out of the question yet. Those in the finish area are watching. Pohjalainen looking to spring a surprise in the women's downhill. How close can she run it here? Pohjalainen from Finland into second place. A superb performance from Pohjalainen from bib 23. Well, is she going to become an all-rounder with skills like this in the downhill? And the fact she scored World Cup points in slalom. Pohjalainen, superb. Estelle Martin, next to go for Canada. '19th and 25th in the two training runs, 0.49 down at the first split for Martin. Nice position on the skis through that turn. Just got to keep it clean. Now over the jump, and the line's a little off, having to make that extra adjustment. That's costing a few skiers some time. She'll have lost a little bit more through this section. 0.84 though, it's still in touch, and this would be a really nice result if she can hang on through the final 10 seconds or so. Just the outside ski breaking slightly. And Martin of Canada crosses the line in 17th. Well, there was some good splits there, particularly the second split. So a lot of positives to take, I would say, for Estelle Martin from Canada. Mallory Blanc still leads, but she was given a scare by Rosa Pogelain. And here we see the little error in line. Emmy Charbonnier next up for France. 16th and 27th in the two training runs, 24th in Europa Cup Super G last week in the Europa Cup points. Not an easy thing to do for any skier. 0.38 is good at the top split. And Charbonnier just again having to make that adjustment in line over the jump. 1.10 off of the pace at the second split. Arcing out a nice turn there through that section where you really have to focus on holding that edge and make the transition. Charbonnier, you can see the finish line, and she stops the clock. 1.81 down into 17th place. Well, Sarah Thaler still holding on to the bronze medal position. Lara Huber pushed down to 4th. Giselle Goringe now for Great Britain. The only British woman on the start list representing Wales. 2 Europa Cup starts, both in 2022. It's her second World Juniors. Didn't finish last time out, 23rd in the Super G for Goringe. Great set of results in the South American Cup Series. She spent a lot of time training in Argentina and Chile last winter. Back in July and August. She actually won the South American Cup slalom title. Tells you how well she's skiing in slalom. Slalom definitely her best discipline, but she's skiing nicely here in the downhill. Always good to get more downhill experience in under the skis, and Goringe into 21st place at the 32nd and 34th in the training. That is a nice run from Giselle Goringe from Great Britain. Katharina Lechner now for Germany, 21st and 28th in the two training runs for the skier out of Alterschwang. 0.36, pretty good on the top split. Giant slalom, the best of her disciplines. That's where she's got her best world ranking. But like a lot of skiers, just building the experience here. Decent Europa Cup series in Orsières, 10th in the Super G, 18th in the downhill. Another solid all-rounder, and don't want to read into the training results too much. 0.77 here, 28th and 21st. Well, she's going to smash those training results away if she can just hold on through the next section. 0.77, good enough for 9th place as it stands on the mountain. And this is impressive from Lechner from bib 27. Where is she going to place? Into 8th place, 1.06 down. Well, she's carried that Europa Cup form into the World Juniors. Really letting the ski run nicely through that turn. Good line over the jump. Doesn't have to adjust too much. Hanna Semirakova from Czechia next up. '30th in the training yesterday, 29th the day before. Won the Czech Super G title 10 days or so ago. Gets it way wrong over the jump and has to move back across the hill That's going to cost her a little bit more time. 1.36 down at the moment for the Czech skier. Been very patient on the skis, not fighting the line too much, just hits a little bump there, twisted with the upper body. And Semirakova crosses the line in 20th place, 2.06 down. Now this skier had some really good training results. Jessica Murta from France. 18 years old out of Courchevel. 27th and 23rd in the downhills in Orsières on the Europa Cup Tour last week. And Murta looking to replicate the form from the two training runs. Good line over the jump, carrying some nice speed into this section. And she's lost a little bit, 1.27. 6th place from the training, maybe a little beyond her, just having to stand tall, make a small correction here. But the skier from Courchevel still charging through this bottom section. And Murta from bib 29, where is she going to place? It's 20th place. Well, after the training, she might be a little disappointed with 20th, 1.92, but it really was a special run that Mallory Blanc put together. Likely to take the gold medal. Of course, don't want to call it until the final 6 skiers have completed the course. Victoria Oliver from Austria next up. Now, she won the second training, so this race is not over yet. 3rd in the Super G at the 2022 World Junior Championships. 8th in the downhill from Bregenzer Wald. She won the training by 0.57. Best Europa Cup result, 4th in giant slalom. Not got a lot of downhill experience, but that was a beautiful line over the jump, and she'll carry speed through this section. The Austrian on a charge here, up by 0.15. This is impressive from the Austrian, starting bib 30. She's going to run it so close here. Can she take it? She cannot afford a single mistake. And the Austrian, the last of the top 30, the winner of the second training, charges towards the line. Oh, she gets it by a 1/100th of a second. It won't be gold for Switzerland today. It could be gold for Austria. By the barest of margins, the Austrian takes the lead. We're not done yet. Christina Jakobsen now for Norway. We've got a new leader. Olivier from Austria. Blanc down to 2nd. Pojalainen down to 3rd. 5 to go. Christina Jakobsen, 35th and 31st in the 2 training runs out of the Tertnes Alpine Club. .42 down at the top split. Won the Norwegian National Junior Championships last week. 27-point slalom result. Very, very helpful. Not reflected in her points yet. She's a 30-point slalom skier at the moment, but could be one to very much keep an eye on in the slalom towards the end of these championships. 1.56 off of the pace right now. And the Norwegian just losing a little bit more time through this section. Jakobsen stops the clock in at 25th place, 2.43 down. On to the final 4 skiers now. Lisa Backlund from Sweden will be up next. Good line over the jump now. The turn of Backlund. out of the Sundsvalls club. She's 19 years old. 0.49 at the first of the splits. 23rd and 22nd in the 2 training runs. Like a lot of the Swedes, very strong in the technical disciplines. 25-point skier in slalom and in giant slalom. So she could be one to challenge in those disciplines later on at the championships. The line is good over the jump, and she'll carry a little bit more speed through this section. Get those skis running flat. 1.34, that is okay. Lisa Backlund looking to maybe squeeze into the top 20 here, which would be a good result in downhill for the Swede at the World Junior Championships, and into 18th place. 1.58 down. I think she'll be pretty satisfied with that one. It's a real leg burner, this course. A lot of skiing on the hill with the 2 training runs earlier in the week. And the race today. Super G tomorrow, also taking place in Chatel, women and men. Taking place on the same day again. 3 to go. Valentina Ringsvaner now for Austria. 6th place in the 2nd training yesterday, 0.36. Can she get it right on the big day? Just 18 years old. She's got a couple of World Juniors ahead of her in her career. Best Europa Cup result, 8th in giant slalom. Strong technical skier. Just doesn't have too much downhill experience, but gets the line right. The Austrians have really nailed that line. Next split, 1.48. Well, it's not going to be a medal, but maybe top 20. Or slightly better for Ringsvaner from Austria. The 18-year-old putting together a solid run here. Can she hang on to the top 20? It's 22nd place, 1.89 down off of the leading time of her teammate, 1:08.39 by 1/100th of a second over Mallory Blanc from Switzerland. 2 skiers to go. Charlotte Hendrickson up next. 35th and 33rd in the 2 training runs. We see Ringsvaner's replay just bounced up. That was a little mistake into a bit of a speed plow. Well, a couple of little mistakes that she would want to clean up now. Charlotte Hendrickson from Finland. Giant slalom and slalom, definitely her best disciplines, but 0.17, this is good. I imagine there's been a course report from Rosa Pojalainen, who sits on the podium as things stand. But Hendrickson showing she can be quick. That's a nice flight from the Finnish athlete. Just a little tall, and she's lost some time, 1.21. Can she squeeze into the top 20? That would be a good return for her efforts here. She's quick on the speed gun, 110.87. Really letting it run nicely through these final turns, and Hendrickson into 17th place, 1.49 down, showing that maybe she has got the skills to progress in downhill. So last skier is on course, Chiara Di Camillo from Albania. 41st and 42nd. So in the 2 training runs, I should say. So 2.97 down. She's going to bring this women's downhill to a close at the World Junior Ski Championships for 2024. And what a race we have been. We have had the pleasure of witnessing 1/100th of a second separating gold and silver. It was won from bib 30. Di Camillo getting some downhill experience here. A little bit down in terms of time, but she's not skied a lot of downhill. This is a tough course, and she will no doubt enjoy the experience and learn from it. Go back to training and be focusing on developing the skills, get that solid technical base. But it's good for her to be here on the start list, and she crosses the line in 32nd place, and that brings us to the end of this absolutely thrilling women's downhill. A real pleasure to be in the commentary box for this one. Gold going to Austria. Victoria Oliver by 1/100th of a second. Mallory Blanc gets the silver for Switzerland, and Rosa Pojalainen the bronze medal. What a run from Pojalainen. We thought that may be the last of the surprises, but no, it was Oliver, the winner of the second training that came through. Just doesn't have as much downhill experience and points, and well, what a performance it was from the Austrian to take the gold. Austria's first gold since 2022. Magdalena Egger taking it then, and she took it in 2020. So Austria on the top step of the podium. And with skiing like that, keep an eye out for Victoria Oliver. Later on in the season, she'll get the start at the World Cup finals now as well. Chance to maybe stake a claim for a start next season on the Austrian team on the World Cup tour. Got to get more Europa Cups under her belt. But a thrilling race here in Chatel in the Le Poste des Soleils, Haute Savoie in France. Valérie Blanc has got the Valais flag on her shoulders, just chatting away there. Blanc started 8th and held the lead right through to bib 30. Pojalainen ran it pretty close, but it was Blanc in the end who came through to take the silver medal. The victory, of course, going to Austria. Super G Day tomorrow for the men and women. They moved the start times around. They did that for today's downhill. So I can't give you an exact start time. The original times were 11 a.m. for the women's Super G, but women were meant to go first today, and it all got flipped around. So just check out the FIS social media to get the exact start time. But rest assured, we will be here for you ahead of the first racer in the Super G, whether it's women or men going first. We will, of course, bring you both Super Gs tomorrow. Well, a chance to look back at what was a thrilling run from the Austrian and a few of the other skiers as well. Some great slow-mo pictures brought to you from the Linga Piste here in Chatel. Well, we're going to enjoy a little bit of the medal ceremony. Nice to look back at some of the slow-mos. Rosa Pojalainen makes her way on towards the podium. There she is, the Finnish skier that's had good early success in her career on the World Cup Tour, particularly in slalom, looking to get back to that sort of level that saw her make some second runs on the World Cup Tour. But showing today, she has got the skills in the downhill as well, and taking home the bronze medal for Finland. Blanc on the podium in second place. I wonder, did she think the gold was hers? Probably not, because she knew Oliver was still to come. So the Austrian makes her way onto the podium. A thrilling race. 1/100th of a second separating gold and silver. It was the bottom section that Blanc was so quick on, but the Austrian getting it done on the top section of the course and hung on